This is not a message people like to hear. It sounds harsh, uncomfortable, almost offensive, but it's true. Most Americans will never be rich. Not because they are lazy. Not because they are unintelligent. Not because they lack opportunity. But because they are comfortable. Comfort is quiet. It doesn't scream danger. It doesn't feel like failure. It feels safe. Comfort says, you're doing okay. At least you're not struggling. Don't risk what you have. And that's why it's so dangerous. Comfort slowly steals ambition without announcing itself. Most people don't fall behind overnight. They drift. They settle. They adjust their dreams to match their reality instead of changing their reality to match their dreams. In America, comfort is easy to mistake for success. A steady paycheck, a reliable routine, a familiar lifestyle. From the outside, everything looks fine. But inside, something quietly dies. Urgency. Most people wait for motivation before they act. They say things like, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll take action when I'm inspired. I'll change when things get bad enough. But wealth is not built by motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Wealth is built by discipline. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline acts even when progress feels invisible. Most Americans are trained to seek comfort, not discipline. They are taught to avoid discomfort. Avoid embarrassment. Avoid risk. But growth lives on the other side of discomfort. And most people never go there. They choose what feels good now over what builds freedom later. They spend first, and save what's left. They consume before they invest. They reward themselves before they build anything. And slowly, quietly, time passes. Years go by. Then decades. And one day, they look up and wonder where their life went. This is the moment many people realize the truth. Being busy is not the same as moving forward. Most Americans work hard, very hard, long hours, multiple jobs, constant pressure. But working hard inside a broken system still keeps you stuck. The system rewards value, not effort. You can give everything you have and still receive very little in return. This is why intelligence alone doesn't create wealth. Plenty of smart people are broke. Because intelligence without action becomes overthinking. And action without direction becomes exhaustion. Most people stay trapped because they choose predictability over possibility. They stay in jobs they dislike because the paycheck feels safe. They avoid learning new skills because starting over feels uncomfortable. They delay investing because they're afraid of making mistakes. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Avoiding mistakes guarantees stagnation. Wealth is built by people who accept short-term discomfort for long-term freedom. They delay gratification. They say no to things others say yes to. They invest when others consume. They learn while others relax. And they do it quietly. No applause. No validation. Just consistent action over time. Most Americans want the outcome without the process. They want freedom without sacrifice. Success without struggle. Results without patience. But wealth doesn't work that way. Wealth compounds. And compounding requires time, consistency, and restraint. Another reason most people never become rich is fear of judgment. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of failing publicly. Fear of being different. So they stay in line. They follow the same path as everyone else. Same goals. Same habits. Same conversations. And they get the same results. Average results. But average feels safe. And safe feels acceptable. Until it doesn't. until retirement approaches, until health declines, until opportunities disappear. By then, change feels impossible. This is why most people stay where they are. They don't fail dramatically. They fade quietly. They spend their best years trading time for money without building anything that lasts. They wait for permission that never comes. They hope for luck instead of building leverage. And eventually, they accept limits they never questioned. But there is another path. And it starts with awareness. The moment you realize comfort is costing you more than discomfort ever could. The moment you stop asking, what feels safe? And start asking, what builds freedom? Wealth doesn't require perfection. It requires responsibility. Responsibility for your skills. Responsibility for your choices. Responsibility for your future. It requires accepting that no one is coming to save you. Not the government. Not your employer. Not motivation. Just you. This realization is uncomfortable. But it's also powerful. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for permission. You start acting. Slowly. Consistently. Deliberately. You learn instead of scrolling. You invest instead of impressing. You build instead of consuming. And over time, something changes. Not immediately. Not dramatically. But steadily. Your confidence grows. Your options expand. Your fear loses power. This is how wealth is built. Not through shortcuts. Not through luck. But through choices repeated quietly over time. Most Americans will never be rich. Not because they can't be. But because they choose comfort over growth. The moment you choose differently, you separate yourself from the majority. And that's where freedom begins. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to share it to your family and friends. Also hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.